heavyweight champion, this might be what he looks like. Eastern assassin Larry Holmes, perhaps one of the most underrated and underappreciated heavyweight champions of all time.
This bout is scheduled for 10 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, from Kyiv, Ukraine, here is the Olympic gold medalist, the longtime unified heavyweight champion of the world.
One of the hottest tickets around. It's standing room only for this, our main event.
This place is like a coliseum. When it's packed out, the fans are there.
We're expecting an all-out offensive display. Now I'm going to get a little more loosey-goosey. Let's see how this one feels. Nice exchange here from both men. Not too many seats to be had in this arena as the hype continues to build for this showdown.
You just see the nerves on a fighter stepping into the ring, Tom. It can tell you so much about a fighter. And then look in the opposite corner. You've got one fighter that is in heaven. This is where they want to be.
So much for boxing. This is a fight. Halfway through the round, and there's not a lot separating these two.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
A straight right just misses. When you're fighting a counterpuncher, you want to bait them in to throw first. Make them think you're going to throw a punch so that they exchange.
You're fighting a counterpuncher, you've got a dummy shot. Make them react from that, then react then. I know it's hard to think that way, but counterpunchers, they're watching your every move, that every twitch.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about pitch scoring that last round. As bad as boxing judging can be sometimes, there's no doubt. Just be smart. Well, we've just taken a big breath, and here we go again. After a really strong round, let's see if they can finish the job.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything worked. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Will say no mas. That straight had to hurt. This fighter is all about finesse, using a lot of angles and lateral movement.
If you're an outside fighter, you've got to use that straight jab, the straight right hands, the straight left hands. Doing it that way, it makes it so awkward for anybody to try and pin you down or even predict which way you're moving.
Some real good back and forth between these two fighters.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Right when you think the pace will slow down, it picks up. Clean left jab. Good counter punching. You couldn't write a script like this. This is like Rocky versus Apollo. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. talk about Klitschko in that last round. Talk about a one-sided 3 minutes. We just saw it.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
I like that round. Good work.
On to the third. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
It's the typical big man, little man argument. He's got to be quicker. He's got to move a lot to win this fight.
If you're in there with a guy so big in front of you, you've got to be smart. You've got to use your smarts and use that skill. This is what you've prepared for. You've got to negate that jab, let it ride past you and push his own weight on him.
The straight right just misses. This has been a very competitive round between these two.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Good counter punching. Nope, that jab not going to score. Call it the glory division. There's nothing quite like a heavyweight fight. It doesn't take much to win it. Lucky to have avoided that uppercut. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Klitschko in that last round. Well, there was no doubt about who won that round.
Dominance, without a doubt, made it look so easy.
Got complacent? Yes, I like that round.
Here we go to the fourth round. That last round was huge for him, Johnny. How does he keep the momentum going?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
Trying to land that jab. They call it the chin. How strong is your chin? Do you have a glass chin? These are things that can affect the fight.
I've seen some fighters with a granite chin. You can hit them with a sledgehammer. They are not going to move. But then I've seen some mad punchers.
Hold on, gotta cut you off here, Johnny. And he did not take that well at all, Klitschko. Didn't wait long to get back in and get engaged.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back, steady yourself, recompose yourself, then boom, back into it. But do not make those mistakes. This is the wrong place to fall asleep.
Both fighters landing in these exchanges. Judge is going to have a tough job.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
You can't make a mistake at the heavyweight level and not expect to be punished for it. Caution being thrown to the wind. Those counter punches have to hurt. What a punch. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Klitschko in that last round. And a round that seemed like eternity for them finally comes to a close.
You know, I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, Bell, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
Jab slick. Get your boxing back together and put him back in his place.
Tank sets him up, but you'll take him out. He's ready to go. He's absolutely
Tougher fight because he's going to be confident. I want you to go back out there, take his time.
Here we go in round 5. Who's going to land the first big shot? So the fight will continue. How do they turn things around?
They've had 1 minute to recover. Now they've got to bluff it. They've got to bluff it. They've got to come out now and style it out. Get on the back foot, jab, rest on the jab. Be smart and pop until your legs come back. Then put the pressure on.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're dealing with someone with so much speed, you've got to get your timing right.
Some fighters are just gifted. Gifted with such hand speed, footwork, movement. They are gifted. They are the chosen few.
Nice counter shot. That one will count. Those who thought this would be a mismatch, you are sorely wrong.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
That counter shot lands. The straight right just misses. Job by him to block that jab. Beautiful counter shot. Not a lot of punch output. Thought there would be some more action here. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Klitschko in that last round. Well, he is in big trouble here. He may have been saved by the bell.
Needs a knockout without a doubt. Needs to go out there and think, right, you know what, next round, you're getting it. You're going to get it. Kitchen sink.
You were thinking...
You got to get out there and switch on. Get your boxing back together.
Don't forget the job.
There's the bell for round 6. It has been all one-way traffic. How do they turn this around?
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart, be sharp, don't be a fool, don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up, just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. What do you think of this fight so far, Johnny?
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Gotta let your hand... Hold that thought! Well, the Eastern Assassin in some trouble here! And it appears the onslaught is over, at least for now.
Green Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
Back and forth they go in this round. The momentum continues to shift.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
Not a lot of punch output. Thought there might be more action here. That jab won't score. Klitschko in big trouble. Can he make his way out of it? This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Talk about Klitschko in that last round. And a round that seemed like an eternity for them finally comes to a...
Go back out of that and switch back on.
And there's the bell for round 7. Let's see how they bounce back here in this round.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
One punch changes everything in this division. It's the heavyweights.
Midway through the fight, if you are tired, this can be the loneliest place in the world. If you cheated, now we're going to find out.
The straight right just misses. Off the charts action from both of these fighters. Which one of these athletes is going to be the first to get rocked? One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those pointed areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. You just got to try and cut them, skim and go for speed.
The straight right just misses. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Let's talk about Klitschko in that last round. You know that. There's the bell to start round 8. That corner has got to find a way to get some momentum behind their fighter.
Now he knows he's been hurt. He's going to come out and put the pressure on. He's going to throw the kitchen sink at you. You've got to be ready for that. Don't fight fire with fire. Hold him off. Be smart because he's going to try and put you under pressure. He knows your legs are gone. He knows your head's not cleared. Be sharp.
The straight right just misses. Straight right just misses. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Missed him with that uppercut. Just when you thought we'd see a lull in the action, here we go again. Good counter punch. These are heavyweights, but I tell you what, that hand speed and footwork, they look like middleweights.
Having so much speed, what happens to your opponent is you get cut to ribbons, and that's when the referee has to jump in and stop the fight. And you know this is going to happen, so you rush your work. You think, I've got to get him inside close round.
A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Klitschko in that last round. Well, we're entering desperation mode here. Gonna need a knockout.
The bell, sometimes it could...
And we enter the 9th. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
This is one of those situations. You've just been hurt. You've got to get out there again. Be smart. Be sharp. Don't be a fool. Don't get suckered in. Make him fight your fight. Hold him, tie him up just until your head clears again and your legs come back again. Because if you don't, he's going to pop you off.
Beautiful counter punch. Timing beats speed. Speed beats power. The straight right just misses. Deciding to let it all hang out here in this round. One punch could end this fight for either of these two heavyweights.
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
off the charts. Big shots from both of these fighters. Got to be careful, though. Nice counter. Tried to score with that hook, but missed. Can you believe this? Klitschko is down! And that body shot folded him like an old T-shirt.
You're right, Todd. What a shot.
One, two, three, four, five. You are right. Let's talk about Klitschko in that last round.
What do you do?
Let's see how the game plan. And here comes the 10th round. His eyes look pretty clear here, Johnny. How do you think he's going to do after being knocked down in the last round?
What a heavy knockdown. How are they going to come back from that? They've staggered back to the corner. They've got to freshen them up, alert them again, get them back on point again. This round, they've got to coast around. Don't get involved. Give yourself another 3 minutes to get your head clear.
What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Work the body, frustrate them, take the mind off the chin, take the mind off protecting everything around that. Work the body, use tactics. Sometimes it's all right to actually outbox a fight and beat them on points.
This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. Nobody home with that hook. Endurance is becoming a factor. You can see this fighter having a hard time getting out of the way of the punches, and they're not throwing as many on their own.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
They exchange punches. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. The three judges agree, and we've got a unanimous decision.
Unanimous. You know what? Smart. Smart, that is. A total change of style.